So you're considering moving to San Diego, where we have great weather year-round. Before you do so, you might want to consider the cost of living. In today's video, I'm going to break down the expenses that you should expect living in America's finest city. From home prices to rent to groceries and everything in between, so you can evaluate and determine if San Diego is right for you. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Greg Cummings, local real estate expert and resident for over 20 years. So if you got any questions about what it takes to live in this city, please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly. I'm happy to help you. Now, San Diego typically boasts a very low unemployment rate and a very strong job market. When you combine that with our near perfect weather, it's no wonder so many people want to call San Diego home. In fact, when I was in my early 20s and I was growing up in Texas, I recall this gorgeous fall day where the weather was just perfect. I remember sitting there thinking to myself as I was sitting in traffic, I would pay money to have weather like this all the time. Well, you know what? Turns out you can. You just moved to San Diego. So now let's break down some expenses. Your biggest part of your budget is going to center around housing, as San Diego is absolutely one of the costliest places to live. In fact, there was a recent article that said that San Diego is, as it stands right now, the most expensive city to live. So let's look at that. Say you're gonna rent. Right now, the average cost to rent an apartment is around $3,000 a month, and that is up 4% from last year. Now that rent's gonna really be determined on what type of property you choose to live in, and of course, the location. Generally speaking, the closer that you get to the water, into that beautiful beach, it's gonna cost you more money. But if you want to save a little bit on the budget, you can always move a little further east and get a lot more bang for your buck. Now, let's say you want to buy instead of rent. Well, that's going to cost you as well. In the past 6 months, the least expensive single-family home to sell was $350,000. And let me tell you, this thing was a complete gut job. I mean, you might as well just consider that land value. Not to mention, it wasn't in the best area. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we had a $19 million oceanfront estate sell in La Jolla, California. Now, those are obviously big extremes on both ends. If you look at the average price of a home right now, you're looking at around $955,000. Now, when it comes to utilities, one benefit is San Diego's temperate weather and breezy summer days are going to keep your cost relatively low. A standard electric bill for about a 900 square foot apartment, including your gas, electric, and water, not to mention your garbage pickup services as well, is gonna run you about $250 a month on average. Now, of course, you're gonna wanna stay connected to the internet, at least most of us, and that'll tack on about $80 to your expenses. So now you're looking at about $320 total on average per month. Now let's talk about food costs. You know, in the past 20 years of living here, I've seen San Diego explode in the culinary world. You've got everything from hole-in-the-wall taco stands that'll knock your socks off to dining experiences with multiple courses. In fact, we have the only 3-star Michelin restaurant in all of Southern California. Now, if you're eating out all the time, with inflation, that's gonna eat up a lot of your budget. Right now, as it stands, just a basic going out dining experience is gonna run you between $15 to $20 a meal. You go somewhere a little bit more upscale, now you're looking at $80 to $100 if you're gonna also enjoy a few cocktails or glasses of wine to go along with that great meal. Now, if you wanna cut that budget down a bit, obviously you can eat more meals at home. MIT Living Wage suggests that a single person eating all their meals at home will spend about $5,000 annually on food when living in San Diego. Now, a family with 2 working adults and 2 children, you can expect to spend about $13,000 annually on food, again, if you're just eating at home. Now, healthcare is a significant expense to consider as well. And just like everything in California, it costs more money here. Obviously, that can be offset by your employer sponsoring part of your healthcare benefits. Now, a recent study by MIT suggested that For a single person, you're looking to spend around $3,000 annually. And a family of 4 with 2 adults and 2 children, you're looking to spend around $9,000 annually. On top of all this, there are some other expenses to consider in San Diego, like taxes. California has one of the highest income tax rates in the entire country, so you have to figure that out into your equation when figuring out your monthly and annual budgets. Oh, and did I mention gas prices? Now, in California, once again, we're taxed even higher, so you can on average expect that we're gonna see prices generally over $5 a gallon. So if you're thinking about moving to San Diego, it is imperative that you sit down and really look at your numbers. Heck, that can be said for any place you're gonna move. You wanna make sure all the numbers work out and it's a comfortable place to move to. The last thing you wanna do is be strapped by all these expenses, which is gonna cut into your lifestyle and reduce the amount of time that you can go on vacations or go out to meals or just enjoy life. If you like this info, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more real estate information. And also, do you know somebody moving to San Diego? Send them this video. I'm sure it'll help them along the way.